All right, this is Daf Yomi in motion number 806. Today we're going to learn Daf Pei Vav in Metzia, and we're going to be speaking about Gadluso Shel Rabbah by Nachmani. Gemara will start on Pei, 5 lines up from the bottom. We're just speaking about the Chashiv, the Gadluso Shel Rebbe Chia, and now we're mentioning the Shmuel at this point. Shmuel Yarchino. That was Emini Yarchino because he was Baki in the Yisodis of Yisodei HaUber. Rashi says up from the bottom about 15 lines. Shmuel Hayichona, who Shmuel Bar Abba, Chaver Shel Rav. He was the friend of Rav. Al Shaya Baki B'Sod HaIbur. I guess that means the Vlad inside the stomach. He was a doctor. Or maybe it was the moon, the Ibur of the moon. So they called him Yachino. So Shmuel Yachino, Asaya de Rabbi. He was the doctor of Rabbi.
Where are we?
Hey, Amid base. 5 lines up from the base. Hey, Amid base. 5 lines up from the bottom. So he is the Asaya de Rabbi Have. Cholash Rabbi be'enei Rabbi was had sickness to his eyes. Amrei lach sama. So Shmuel told him, "I'll put some medicine in your eyes, straight into him." Amrei lo yachal. I can't take that medicine going straight into his eyes. So Shmuel told him, "Ashtar loch mashtar." He says, "So I'll put them on the outside of your eyes." Amrei lo yachal. I can't take that either. Have a moisiv lay, so he put the medicine. Goivosa desamne tote be sadaya. Said he put the medicine underneath his pillow as he was sleeping. Strong medicine. The tisoy, and he got better. So in other words, the medicine was under his pillow, went up through his skull, through his brain. And then it cured his eyes from the brain, from the back, through the brain. Havikom Rebbe was so thankful and impressed that he was able to cure him like this, that he wanted to give him smicha because he was so wise, Shmuel, but he wasn't able to pull it off, to accomplish that. Havikom Rabbi the Misamche. He worked very hard to try to give Shmuel smicha. Lo havi mistaya milsa never came about. Omalei, Shmuel told him, "Don't worry about it. Lo litztaya mar. V'didi chazi li sifra de Adam Rishon. I saw the sefer of Adam Rishon. The kosiv bay. It says over there that Shmuel Yarchino, Hakim would be a wise man. Iskari will be called a wise man. Rabbi lo Yiskari. We won't be called a Rebbe. We won't get smicha. Va'asu the Rabbi and al yodo. And Rebbe will be cured by him. Tiye. Rabbi v'Rebbe Nosan Sof. So in the Sefer of Adam Rishon, it also said the different generations said that Rabbi v'Rebbe Nosan Sof Mishnah, meaning that would be the end of the Tanoim. And Rashi will explain it in a second. Rav Ashi v'Ravina Soif Hora, they would be the end of the Amoraim. And the Simonach, the simon that Rav Ashi v'Ravina would be the end of the Amoraim is from a pasuk in Tehillim. It says the Simonach pasuk says, Adavo el mikdashay kel, until I come to the mikdash of Hashem, Ovina l'achri som. Then I'll understand the end. So the Simon is that said, says, Mikdashe Kel, that's Reb Ashi, Mikdashe. And Avina, that's Ravina. And La'achrisom, that means they're the end of the Amoraim. Anyway, Rashi explains the way that what we meant by Sof Mishnah and Sof Hara. 3 lines down from the top in Rashi, Sof Mishnah, Sof Tanoim, that the Rebbe Nosson was the end of the last of the Tanoim, Ad Yemehem, Sof Tanoim Ad Yemehem, until their lives. Omru, up until their time, how did it work out? Omru Ish Es Dvora B'Beis HaMidrash, everybody said over what their piece of halacha that they had, then it was discussed, but nothing was arranged in Sidorim. How you Talmidim Gorsim Shmu, and the Talmidim would go over what they heard, Shmu, each halacha by halacha, Levada separately, out of order, without any order. Below Hayu Mesechtos, Siduros, they weren't arranged. So this right, Seder Nichbatz al Haseder, al Haseder. Behem Kolalu. One Seder would jump into the next Seder. There wouldn't be one subject would jump into the next subject. Behem Kolu, and then they gathered it all together. And they gathered all together. Ha'omer, whatever said B'dairos of Shlifneim, whatever was said in this way throughout the previous generations. The Sodru, meaning Rebbe, the Rebbe Nasan. The Sodru es HaMasechtos, and they put all the Masechtos together. V'achreihem lo Yosifu elamad, and after them, it was only small amount was added on after that. What does it mean, Ravash and Ravina with the Sof Amoraim? Sof Hara, Sof Kol Hamoraim. Ad Yemeim came until their lives. Lo Isa Gemara. Up until their lives, there wasn't Gemara. Al Seder in a Seder in an organized form. Elikisha Haisa Shela Nishelas Bitam HaMishnah. Whenever there was a Shela about the reasoning behind a Mishnah, Beis HaMedrash, Shela Al Maisa Hamuror, any crash on any event that happened, type of a Maisa halacha that happened, Bedin Maman or Yisr Beheter. Kol Echad Be'echad Omer Tamu, everybody would say their reasonings and try to understand what was happening. Rav Ashi Ravina Sidru Shmuos. So then they Amoraim. So Rav Ashi and Ravina took all of those discussions and were masader the discussions of the Amoraim Shelifnehem, which came before them. The Kovu Al Seder Masechtos, put them into the Masechtos according to how they were explaining the different Mishnayos. Kol Echad Ve'echad Etzel HaMishnah Haruye V'Ashnuyula V'ikshu Kushiyos Sheyesh Le'Hashiv V'Pirukim, all the kushiyos that had to be asked and all the answers that had to be given, it's for each of those Mishnayos. Shiruyim L'Taretz Hem V'Hamurayim She'imahim, that were with them. Yekovu are called the Gemara, that was the Gemara, Kagon, and that was with the Esvei and the Moyisiv, the Vermini, and the Kashas brought on Mishnahs from Brises and other Mishnahs. Iboyalahu, Ba'tirutzim Sha'alehem, every teretz that had to be for them. Zumashi Shairu, whatever, Oisan, whatever wasn't taken care of by all the people that came before him. Shelifnehem, Va'oisan Sha'amru Lifnehem, Hakushios Ba'tirutzin, Sha'alehen Lo Kavum, and anything that wasn't already organized and fixed. Bigamora, I'll say that Mesechtos, Mishnah, Shesider Rabbi, the Bo Rav Ashi Ravina Lekavim, and then they will fix them in the Gemara. So that was all in the Sefer Adam Rishon. Gemara says, right, that was the simon that they were going to be the end of the Amoraim. Omar Rav Kahana. Omar Rav Kahana, Ishtoi Li. It was told to me, Rav Chama Bar said, Rav Chama, the son of the daughter of Dichasa, that Rabbah bar Nachmani, he raised Abaye, I think Rabbah also. Rabbah bar Nachmani, Agab Shmoda Nachnashi. Because of the oppression of the Goyish Malchus at that time, he died. What happened? Akilu Bey Kurtze Bey Malchus. Someone told on him that he was causing a big loss to the taxes every year. That 2 months out of the year, he caused 12,000 people not to pay their taxes, because that's when he was learning 30 Shloshim Yom Lifnei Chag of Pesach and of Sukkot. He was teaching halachas, and everybody left their house and went to learn the halachas. And when the tax collector came by, they weren't home. So this person tied it to the Beis HaMalchus, Beis HaMelech, that Rabbah bar Nachmani was causing this loss of taxes. So Amru Ikachad Gavi. This is what he said. Ikachad Gavra Biyudai Deko Mivatel Teresar Alfe Gavra Yisrael. He causes 12,000 people not to pay taxes. Yarcha Bekaita, 1 month in the spring, like in the summer. V'Yarcha B'Sasofa, and a 1 month in the fall, around just before Sukkot time. Mikraga de Malka, and he causes them to not pay the Kraga de Malka, the tax. So the king sent a messenger, a shliach, to go find Rabbah bar Nachmani. Shodru, he sent a pristoka, so a shliach de Malka, Avasre, to go after him. He didn't find Rabbah bar Nachmani. Orak, because Rabbah bar Nachmani ran and fled. Orak v'ozal mepumbedisa, he left Pumbedisa, La Akira, to go. He went to the place of Akira, and then he ran from Akira, Ma'akira La Agima, and he went to La Agima. Agima Lesichin, Umesichin Tzrifa. He went to Tzrifa, Mitzrifa Le'ena Demaya. He went to Ena Demaya. Ena Demaya, he went back to Pumbedisa. And when he went back, they caught him. But Pumbedisa Ashkeche was found. How did he find him? Because he was hiding out in a hotel. Ikla Pristoka, this shliach, was in the inn. This Pristoka de Malka de Hahu Ushpiza de Rabbah. He was in the same inn that Rabbah was in. And while he was there, the innkeeper, who was like the waiter and serving the food, so Kirvu Taka Kamei brought a table in front of this Pristoka. Ashku, and he gave him some drink. Ashku Trey Kase, gave him 2 drinks, maybe 2 drinks of wine, 2 drinks of whatever. The Dilua, and then they took away the Litaka, they took away the table, Mikmei, in front of him. So at that point, he brought him, that was Zugos, he brought him Zugos, and that brings along damage, Hezek from the Mazikim. So he was Nezek from the Mazikim. Hoda Partzufe Lachure, his head spun around, his face turned to the back, and he was being damaged. So the innkeeper was afraid, because he knew he was a messenger of the Malchus. He was afraid the Melech would be upset with him and punish him. So he asked Rabbah bar Nachmani, what should he do? So Omruleh, they said, so my Navid, what should we do? My Navid lay, Gabra de Malka, he's a messenger from the king. We have to do something to help him. He's like being mazik over here. Omar lahu, Kirvu taka lekmei, bring another table in front of him. Shkiuhu chad kasa. Then bring 1 cup. So now it's 3 cups were brought in front of him. So now it's not zugos. So they will take away the hezek, the dilu, and give him the taka, and then take away the table after he has the cup. Nikmei, vili tosai, and he'll be cured. So Avduleh Hachi, they did this, tosai, and he was cured. That's what Rabbah bar Nachmani told him to do. Omar Neda Yodana, so the Paristoka said, I know that the person I'm searching for is here. Yodana the Gavra de Ka Be'ina Hachahu, I know that he's here. Bachish ve Abasre. You looked for him and he found him. So Omar, we told Rabbah bar Nachmani, told him, Azil Nemahacha. He says, I'm leaving here. I'm not going to do anything to you. If when I get back, I get punished for what? For not turning you in, because I appreciate that you saved my life. So if I get back and I get punished, and they want to kill him, meaning me, he's saying about himself, they want to kill him, that he's still not going to reveal who helped him out and where Rabbah was. Yimaktil kotlu, let them kill him, lahu garva, to him. Lo megal ina, he still said he's not going to be megala. However, he said, V'i nagidai minagdinli magilna. However, if they torture him, as he said about himself, then he will reveal. And they did torture him, and he did reveal. Asiyu likmei de al aile. So they brought Rabbah bar Nachmani to the place of the king. Ladruna, they put him into a room. Ladruna v'tarke lebaba be'afne. And then they locked the door in front of his face, in his face. Boy rachmi davin porak ashisa. And one of the walls fell down, and he walked out. Arak, he fled. V'ozil la'gima, and he fled to the wilderness, to the marshes. Havayosef and near Girda did Dikula. He sat on a stump, on a decal stump. The Kogaris, and he was learning over there. Shoma the Ka Miflagi. So he heard that there was machlokas in Mesivta Rakia. The halacha is im beheres kodemes lis alavan tame, that if the lesion legabi negoyim is comes before the hairs turn white, so then the din is that is a nega and it's tame. However, if the din is beim salavan kodem lebeheres, if the hair turned white before the lesion affected the skin, so the din is that the person is tahor. It's not negoyim. What's about if they don't know which came first? The suffix. So on that there was a machlokas between the Kodesh Baruch Hu and the Masifta Derakia. So Kodesh Baruch Hu Amar tahor, that the person is tahor. The Kuluhu Masifta Derakia Amru Tameh. They all said he's tameh, because how can they be cholok on a Kodesh Baruch Hu? Because the Torah was given to Bnei Adam. It was given over reshus to people to darshan the Torah, to learn the Torah, and to be the final word on what the Torah is saying. Psak. And that's how. However, it was a machlokis, and they wanted someone to be machriya, a shlishi machriya be'eneihem. Who were they going to choose? So Omri man nocheach. Who will be machriya for us? So they knew that Rabbah bar Nachmani was a baki in these inyanim, so they wanted to take him out of the world and bring him up to the Mesivta Demala, to Rakia. So Noichach Rabbah bar Nachmani, the Omar Rabbah bar Nachmani, because Rabbah bar Nachmani would say about himself, Ani Yachid bin Negoim, that he's the biggest baki in Negoim. Ani Yachid ba'oilos, also in Tumas Oilos. So Shodru Shliach Basrei, they sent the Shliach to get him, meaning the Malach Mavis. Lo Habi Matzeh Malach Mavis Lemikarev Le. Malach Mavis could not get close to him. The Lo Habi Posik Pume Megirsa, because his mouth didn't stop from learning. And so the Malach Mavis couldn't get near him, couldn't take him. So, because of that, he made a noise in the thicket. Nosav Zika va'avush beinikoni. He made a noise of a wind blow, and it rustled the stalks. And Rabbah bar Nachmani thought that it was a brigade of horsemen from the king coming to get him. So Sovar Gunda, the Frashai, who a group of horsemen. So Omar Tinach Nafshe Dahu Gabram Lo Yim Imosar Biyoda de Malchuso. So then he was giving himself over to the Malach Mavis. Take this person, meaning about himself, take this person so that he shouldn't be fall into the hands of the king and not be tortured. Ki Habikon Nicha Nafshe, when he was nifta then. So Omar they said, I guess in the Shemaim, Tahor, Tahor. Or he said, Tahor, Tahor. That the din was Tahor. He was Machriya Mitzad HaKadosh Baruch. Yotzas Baskol came out and said, Amra Ashrecha Rabbah bar Nachmani, Shegufcha Tahor V'yitziyascha V'yitziyasa Nishmoscha B'Tahor. And your neshama went out B'Tahor. No, at that moment, Norfal Pisika Mirakia Bipumbedisa, a note fell down from the Rakia to Pumbedisa that Rabbah bar Nachmani Nisbakesh B'Yeshiva Shel Mala, that he was needed in Yeshiva Shel Mala, and that's why the meaning he was nifter. Nof Kovai V'Rabba V'Chuluhu Rabbanin, this Asuke to bury him, find him and bury, because he died in the marshes. Lo Avu Yodai Duch, they didn't know where he was. Ozlu La'agimo, they went out to the marshes. Chozu, and what they saw, Sofre Dimitale Bikaime. They saw birds that had their wings spread open, and they were causing shade on the ground underneath their wings, and they were standing and not moving. So they thought that must be where he died. Maybe they didn't see his body. Omar Shmamino, we see from here, this must be where he was nifter. So they understood for some reason. Hossam, Shmamino Hossamhu, that's where he is. So they gave him a hesped there. Safduhu, Tulsa Yom, they gave him a hesped for 3 days. Tulsa Lelusa, and also for 3 nights. Norfal Pesika, and then another note came from Shemaim that Kol HaPirish Ye'eh B'Nidui, whoever's abandons now will be in Nidui. So Safdu Shiva Yome, they was maspid him for a full 7 days. Norfal Pesika. And then another note came down, you can all go back now. You did what you're supposed to do. We're in the Daf Pei Vav Amud Aleph, in the wide lines of the Amud of the Gemara, Biduk, like in the middle, the last word on the line, Hahu. Talking about how the Abai Rabbah just were masped Rabbah bar Nachmani in the Agima, and the Pesika came down and said, you can all go home b'shalom, because they did the 7 days of Hespedim, and that was Beseder. So the Gemara says, Hahu Yoima Dinach Nafshe, on that day that Rabbah bar Nachmani was nifter. It says that Dale Zafa Vidare Lahu Taya, a strong wind, like a hurricane, came and swept up an Arab merchant from one side of the River Papa, Ki Rochiv Gamila, when he was riding his camel. Mahi Gisa Dinar Papa, from one side of the river of Nar Papa, Vishadaya Bahach Gisa, and threw it all the way to the other side. So Omar Maihai, what's going on over here? So someone told him, Omri Lei, someone told him, Nach Nafshe de Rabbah bar Nachmani. Omar, so he said, Omar Lefona, I guess the merchant said, Rabbona Shalom, Kuli Alma Didach, the whole world is yours. Who? The Rabbah bar Nachmani Didach, Rabbah bar Nachmani is yours. At the Rabbah. You are to Rabbah, because he loves you. The Rabbah Didach, and Rabbah is yours. And you love Rabbah. So Amaika Machreves Leila Alma. So why? Just because he's nifter, why should you destroy the world with such a strong storm? Nach Zafot, so the storm subsided. So that was a case. The Gemara says, Rabbi Shimon ben Chalafta, Baal Basar Havi, he was very fat. Yom Echad Havi Chamimale, it was very hot for him one time. Havi Solik V'Yosef Ashena Detur, he went and sat on the peak of a mountain. Omar Le Livras, he told his daughter, Biti, Hanife Olai B'Menifa, here, fan me with this fan, and I'll pay you. Va'ani Etain Lech Kikaran Denirid, with like Kikaran of Bosamim, like perfume or something. At that moment, Noshva Zika came a strong wind, and the strong wind cooled him off. So Omar Kama Kikarin denird Lamari Deichi. How much I have to give thanks to Hashem for everything He does for me, for us. It's like the Mishnah on Daf Pei Gimel Amud Aleph had told us that when a person hires Poalim, he has to give him food if that's the minhag, and everything that whatever is the minhag. If you have to give him bread, if you have to give him also something to go with the bread, lifta, you have to give that. Hakol minhag Medina, whatever is done, that's the minhag. So what does it mean? Hakol comes to include something. Hakol lasuyimai. What are we coming to include? And for the Gemara lasuyi basha denige kroch rifsa v'mishte anipaka, and this is a measure of drink, like a sandwich of bread sandwich, and a mishta anipaka, and a drink, this amount of drink, and it also has to be in the house of the owner before they go out to the fields to the work. If he would tell them, if you say, you go out already and I'll bring you the food, so that's against the minhag, so they can be ma'akiv him. So omru, they can tell him, omru lo kol kaminach. You're not allowed to do that, and they're able to be ma'akiv him because it goes according to the minhag. Weiter Maisa, and then the Mishnah told us there was a Maisa b'Rabban Yochanan ben Metzia, Sha'omar Lebano, that he told his son to go hire Polim. Say this Chor Polim. He went and hired them, and he told them that we'll give you a meal. And then his father told him to go back, and before they will start work, go back and tell them we're only going to give them bread with beans, because otherwise we'll be stuck. We'll have to give them too much. So my solicitor, that's a nice my solicitor. If you tell me that everything is according to the minhag Medina, like Rabbi Shimon Gamliel told us at the end of the Mishnah, there's nothing to worry about. You don't have to go back and tell them, because just look at what the minhag is, and that's all they will get anyway. So why was the father, why in the ratio we were worried about giving them, being batal the Tanai, if anyway it's supposed to go according to the minhag? So it's a Maisa Listor. Umar says no, it's really missing something in the ratio. Chasuri mechsera. This is how it's supposed to be learned. If true, everything is according to the minhag Medina, but if someone will offer something more than the minhag, then he'll have to give it. He'll have to give that more. So that's what he was worried about, because he said, we'll give you a meal. So riba, and then you have to add, increase. Nami, and this is the continuation of the Mishnah. Nami Rabbi Yochanan Metzia, She'omar lebeno, say Sachor Lana Parling to go and hire the workers. And he went, Holach with Posak Lehen Mizonasi, and he said, we'll give you a meal. Because Shabo Etzel Ovi, the Mishnah said it when he came back to his father Omar Lo, Beni, Afilu Ata Oise Lehen, Kasuda Shlomo B'Shaito, even if you would give him the meal that Shlomo gave to the whole Medina when he was at the peak of his Malchus, it wouldn't be enough, because they're B'nai Avram Yitzchak and Yaakov, and that means you have to give them a meal fitting for Avram Yitzchak and Yaakov, which the assumption here is that that's even more than the meal that Shlomo was giving everybody. Lo yotzos yidei chavoscha, you wouldn't even be yotzi if you gave him a meal like Shlomo gave people. Imahem, shehen b'nei Avram Yitzchak and Yaakov. In fact, the moral of the Memor, you tell me that the meal of Avram Yitzchak and Yaakov was greater than what Shlomo gave people? The Memor de sudoso de Avram Avinu Adifa Midish Shlomo. You telling me that it was greater than what Shlomo gave? Ba'aksiv, it says, there's a pasuk in Malachim that describes the meal of Shlomo. It says, "Vihi lechem Shlomo liyoim echad," just for one day. Shloshim kor soiles v'shishim kor komach, asora bakar briim ve'esrim bakar ri, umeyat sa'oin levad me'ayol utzivi v'yachmor ubarburim avusim. So they gave them all these types of breads and animals and fowl and live and birds, chickens. So For Omar and back in the Gemara, for Omar Gurion ben Astion, Mishmei de Rab, Halalu, referring to the soilus and the kemach. What was that for? Meaning, what was described here is not even is only a small amount of what he really did give, because the kemach that was mentioned over here was only to throw into the pot to absorb the zuoma from the pot before actually cooking. Actually, they threw this flour to like absorb bad toxins from the pot or something. Halalu la'amilan shel tabachim, just for that. Rabbi Yitzchak Omar Halalu, referring to the son and the bakar, was just to make a dish, but even more, that was just one dish. The tzike kedera. So really, we see much more was given. So Omar Rabbi Yitzchak, elef nashim hayu l'shlomo, he had 1,000 wives. Kol achas v'achas asaso lo bebeis akach. Everyone made this meal for him every single day. So my time, why should he need so much? Why did he have a meal like this every single day? Because each one thought that maybe he'll come over her house that day. Zu savura shema etzli suad hayom v'zu savura shema etzli suad hayom. So they all prepared it in case he'll come to them. So that's the great meal that we see by Shlomo Melech. So where do we see that Avram's meal was better? The Ilu Gabi Avram, we don't see that it was so much. See, it says in the pasuk, it says Ve'el habakar rotz Avram ran to the herdsman to get a bakar. V'yikach ben bakar, he took one. Rach v'tov v'yiten el anar, and he gave it to the boy to prepare. V'yimaher la so, and he did it one cow, but they. So Amar Rab Yehuda Amar Rab in Gemara. Ben Bakar Echad. Rach, right, that's one. So there was three. So Ben Bakar, that's one. Rach, Shnaim, that Rach means that he took two. Vitov, Shlosha. So he took 3 Bakar for 3 people. That's pretty much. So Hosam, Tulsa Turi, Vitolsa Gavre. That's a lot. So we see here that and by Shlomo Melech, it was that much food, but for all of Am Yisrael, and Am Yisrael was a big populace. Hocha v'chol Yisrael v'Yehuda. Shneimar, and it says there was a lot of people then. It says Yehuda v'Yisrael rabim kechol asher al hayam l'roiv oichlin v'shoisim usmeichim. So per capita, there was more. Really, people, what Avram gave was really more, maybe. Rabbi Kachol. That's there we see. They wouldn't have been fulfilled their chiyuv if they would give just like Shlomo b'shaita. What do we mean? Baburim avusim, fattened chickens. My baburim avusim. What does it mean? Omarav she'oyu uvasim. Oisan balkorch, and they would fatten them up balkorch. They would force feed the chickens to make them fat and then shech them. Shmuel, he was a doctor, and he realized that if you do that, it wouldn't really be healthy food. So he learned different pshat. Shmuel Omar she'avusim ve'oimdim maleim. They would just like eat by themselves a lot. They would give them a lot of food and let them eat it by themselves. Rabbi Yochanan Omar mivian tur. Mari also bidloanis. Take a bakar, a bull, after it grazed on its own will, not forcing it down its throat, but letting it eat as much as it wants to eat that, and one that did eat a lot and got fat, that's what you take. Tarnagolis, mashposa bidlo anis, and also the chickens that were eating around the yard, and they ate whatever they wanted to eat, and they weren't forced. Omar Rabbi Yochanan, the muvchar sheba behemos shor muvchar sheba oifos tarnagolis. The best type of animal is a bull, and the best food for eating is a tarnagol. And the reason is to know what's covered Shabbos for Yom Tov, what kind of food should be eaten. Omar Meimar, zagos uchmosa, a black chicken, bei batinta. with a big stomach. Dimish shtochecha bene atzrei. That is found around the barrels in the yard. To lo matze pasaya kanya, that can't hardly walk because can't really flap around because it's so fat. So you look for one of those in the yard and you take one of those. That's what we're talking about. Those are the type we take. That's avusim. The elabaka rats, and then we have the pasuk that says that Avram ran to the herdsman. The elabaka rats Abraham. So Amar Rabbi Yehuda Amar Rav Ben Bakar Echad, like we learned before. Ben Bakar, he took one ox, one bull. Rach Shnayim Vitov Ishloshes, 3 took. The Ema Chad. Why don't we just say it was 1? And it was because it was only 3 people that had to be fed. So why don't we just say that 1 ox was taken for 3 people? The Ema Chad. Why don't we just say it was 1 ox? The lashon of the pasuk could also mean 1 ox. It says Ben Bakar. Rach v'tov. That could be the way people speak. They talk about 1 ox being soft and good. So how do you know it means 3? That we're supposed to break it and understand that he took 3. The emachad, kida amrei inshe. That's the way people speak. Rachech v'tav, soft and good. Gemara says if we went like that, if that's what we were supposed to, the way we're supposed to learn, it would have been written differently. In Cain, lichtov rach tov. Rach tov, ben bakar rach tov. Soft, good. So my vitov, what's the vitov? The vitov they understood was a drasha. To come to add another one. Shmamina l'drasha, that it was for drasha. So now we have ben bakar rach vitov. So just learn 2. So why are we learning that there's 3 bakar were taken? They just learned 2 were taken. Ve'ema trey, learned that there were 2 taken. Midatoiv. Once tov was learned that it was lidrasha, because vitov, lidrasha. So rach nami lidrasha. So rach was then also, since the rach is supposed to be together with the tov, and vitov was for drasha. So the rach vitov rach would also be lidrasha because you really didn't need the vav. Once you put the vav in there, so it makes that both rach and the tov are used for drasha. So Mosiv Rabbah Bar Ula. So we asked the Isema Rab Oshaya. Some say it was Rab Oshaya. The Isema Rab Nosan Berebi Oshaya. So he quoted the pasuk. Says V'yitain El Hanar. He gave it to the Nar to prepare the food. V'yimahir lasois oiso. So what do we learn? We learned it was really just one bakar taken, not 3. So to prepare it. The 1 cow. Kol chad b'chad. The answer is, and for the Gemara, kol chad b'chad, the Yahweh linar chad. They just brought everyone that was prepared. The 3 that were prepared, they brought to 1 person to prepare. V'yikach. Then the pasuk says, v'yikach chemia. Here what they say, chemia. Right? He took the butter, v'chalav. Cholov, the ben abakar. The pasuk says, Asher osa, v'yiten lifnehem. So ben bakar again, he was taking 1, and he put it in front of them. So why did you say it's 3 that Abraham gave to them? And for the Gemara, dekama kama demate, I say likmayu. Everyone that was ready, they brought it in front of them, and then as it was prepared, and they brought it in front. But they really, in the end, brought 3. The Lama Tulsa. Why did he have to bring 3 for them? Tisagi b'chad would have been enough, just 1. 1 is enough for 3 people. Amarav Chanan bar Rava. Kidei la'akilan shlosh l'shonos b'chardel. Give him the delicacy of l'shonos b'chardel. Amar Rabbi Tanchum bar Chanilai. So la'ila. Al Yishana Adam Minag Hamadina. Person should always do what they do in that place. Shahari Moshe Ola Moron, when he went up to the Har Sinai to get the Torah, Moshe Rabbeinu, he didn't eat because that's the minhag in like Shemayim. There's no eating there. The Moron. Below ochal lechem. The Malachei Ashoris Yordu Lemata. They came down here when they visited Avram Avinu. Ochlu Lechem. And then they ate Lechem. So that's where we learn that a person is always supposed to do where in the minhag of where he is. In fact, the more Ochlu Salkadaitich, you think they really ate when they were here? They just appeared as though they were eating. Ela Ema Niru Kamisha Ochlu Vishasu. Omar Rabbi Yehuda, Omar Rab. Kol Mash also Abraham, the Malachei Ashoris. Ba'atzmo, also Kadosh Baruch Hu Levonai Ba'atzmo. Everything that Avraham Avinu did physically on his own for the Malachim, that's what Hashem did physically for the Yidden, and he didn't use a shliach. Kol Mash also Abraham Ayidei Shliach, also Kadosh Baruch Hu Levonai Ba'ayidei Shliach. And then Hashem there also used a shliach. Pasuk says, we read it already. It says, Ve'el Habakar wrote to Abraham. So he ran over there. So then we have, when we were in the Midbar, it said, Ve'ruach nosa me'es Hashem. When he was bringing the slav, it says, Ruach nosa me'es Hashem. Hashem himself brought the slav for the Yidden in the Midbar, the fowl, whatever, the quail. For Yogos, Salivim min hayom. He brought them from the west. Vito sha'al hamachane. They came. There was a lot of them. Kiderech yom was a day's walk in one direction. Ko. The kiderech yom ko, and it was a day's walk in the other direction. That's how many quail were there. Svivois hamachane, all around the machane. Amosayim, and it was 2 amos al pnei haaretz high of quail. But Hashem brought it himself. And then we said, so that then it says, V'yikach chamiyah v'cholov, that he himself brought that. And then the pasuk says that hinini mamtir lachem lechem min hashemayim. So to Hashem brought us man in the midbar. And then v'hu omer aleihem, Avram stood as they were eating tachas ha'etz, and Hashem stood as Moshe Rabbeinu was hitting the rock. Hashem was standing there like over us. Hinini omer lefanecha sham alatzur. Hashem was standing over us. Then it said Abraham hoylech imam l'shalcham. He was malava them when they were leaving. And it says Hashem hoylech lifneihem yoimam. Hashem went in the Anani Yaakov. And when we were in the Midbar. Then it says, V'yukach no ma'at maim. He said, here, take a little bit of water, wash off your feet. So here we see that I guess Avraham Avinu didn't pour it himself on their feet. So I guess that's not considered him doing it himself, because here Hashem used the shliach. V'kisa b'tzur v'yotzum amenu maim. So he told Moshe v'shoso ha'am. You see that Hashem took a shliach there to hit the rock. He took Moshe to hit the rock. He himself didn't give water. So here we see that when then Moshe, this is Rabbi Yehuda Omar Rab, and he was darshaning that when Avraham Avinu was standing over the Malachim while they were eating, that was what Hashem did in exchange. Was he was standing over us at the time when Moshe Rabbeinu was hitting the rock. So there's a machlokus on that. The pliga de Rabbi Chama bar Chanina on Rabbi Yehuda bar Amar Rav on that point. To Amar Rabbi Chama Rabbi Chanina, v'chein Tana debei Rabbi Yishmael. B'schar shlosha zachu l'shlosha. In the merit of 3 things that Avraham Avinu did, that us, the banim afterwards, was like the 3 things. B'schar chamiyah v'cholov zachu leman. Right? Because Avraham Avinu, this is the way Rabbi Chama Rabbi Chanina was learning. Because Avraham Avinu gave these butter and the milk, so we were zocher to the man. Zocher leman b'schar shehu oimed aleihem zochu la'amod ha'anan. So then we had the Ananiya covered. That's not the way Rabbi Yehuda Amar Rav learned. He learned that Hashem just stood over us. He learned that because Avraham Avinu was malava them, that we were zocher to the Ananiya covered in the midbar. So we see there's a machlokus between them on that point. B'schar Yukach no ma'admai, when Avraham Avinu told them to take a little bit of water to wash off their feet. Zochu lebera shel Miriam. So that's Rabbi Chama bar Chanina learned that way. So, period. We see there's a machlokas between them on that one point, on where what the Ananei Kavod, where we learn the Ananei Kavod came to us. In what schus the Ananei Kavod came to us. Yukach nom atmayim. He told them to take a little bit of water. V'rochatzu ragleichem, and wash off your feet, because he suspected maybe they were Aravim, and the Aravim will worship the dust on their feet. So Amar Rebbe Yonai, Rebbe Yishmael, Amru Lo, and he didn't want, Avraham Avinu didn't want them coming into his house with with like avodah zarah, or something that they worshipped as avodah zarah on their feet. So he told them, so Rebbe Yonai, but Rebbe Yishmael, Amru Lo, they said him, the Malachim told Avraham Avinu, what are you suspecting? V'chi be'aravim chashad tanu, Yechoshid, that we're Aravim shehem mishtachavim la'avak regleihem. So, in other words, it's implying that Avraham Avinu was choshed ksherim. So at that moment, Kmar yotzim amenu Yishmael, because choshed ksherim loike begufo, as Rashi explains, and I guess his son is like his goof at that moment. So then it was then declared that that type of hanhaga should come out of Yishmael. That Yishmael should be that type of people would come from Yishmael, his son, that type of hanhaga that they would worship the dirt on their feet. Anyway, the pasuk says, "V'yar Elai Hashem ba'aloni mamre," when he was after his bris milah, 3 days after his bris milah, while he was at the gate of the door of his tent, Hashem came to him. Hu Yosher Pesach ha'oyel kechom hayom, and the intense heat of the day. So, my kechom hayom, what do we mean by the chom hayom? Omar Rebbe Chama b'Rebbe Chanina. Also hayom yom shlishi shel mila shel Avraham. Haya. B'bo HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'shol be'Avraham. Hashem came to see how he's doing. Hoitzi HaKadosh Baruch Hu Chama minatika. Hashem took the sun out of its covering, that it should be hotter that day. Right, so that people shouldn't come to visit Avram, and then that Avram should have to take care of them. Shadre le'Eliezer lemeipak livro. So Avram sent Eliezer his Eved to go and find guests outside. So Noafak v'lo ashkach. He went out. Eliezer went, and he didn't find anybody. Omar lo mehem noloch. Avraham Avinu told him, "I don't believe you," and that's where we get this phrase, "Hainu de omrei atoman leis hamnusa be'avde." And they say in the Eretz Yisrael, there's no ne'amonos for a body. Novak Ius, then Avraham Avinu went out to the doorway. Chazaya Shakadosh Baruch Hu Dekaya Baba. He saw that Hashem was at his gate, and that's what we see from the pasuk. Behind the Chasi, we see that from the pasuk. It says, "Vayomer Adonai im no mosasi chen be'inecha al no sa'avor me'al avdecha," meaning he wanted to go and visit and take care of the guests, and he was telling Hashem, "But please don't leave." So, Kevin de Chaza, and that's how we see that he saw when he came to the opening of his tent. Kevin de Chazi de Ko Osa Bishari, then Hashem saw that he was bandaging up his wound and then taking it off, meaning redressing his wound, and he was in pain. Omar Uwab Orcha Ara Lemekam Hach, it's not good for me, nice for me to be here at this moment. And how do we know that he wanted to leave, or Hashem wanted to leave, or did leave? Hainu Tichsiv, because it says in the pasuk, Vayiso Eina, that Avraham Avinu then looked up, V'yar, and he saw V'hine Shlosha Anashim, 3 people were Nitzavim, all I was standing right next to him. V'yar, and then he looked up, V'yorat Slei across him, and then he ran to them. You see, there's a problem with the pasuk. They were standing next to him, and then he ran to greet them. Pesach ha'oil v'yishtachu arza, and then he went. But so we see that the same type of idea was happening with the Malachim, that at first they were next to him, and then they saw that he was in pain, so they wanted to distance themselves from him. And then Avram Avinu had to run to them. That was the same idea as we saw with Hashem, that he also felt that it wasn't comfortable to be next to him because Avram Avinu was in pain. That's what the pasuk said. And the Yisa Ena the Yora Behine Shlosh Anashim Nitzavim alive. The Yor, and he saw the Yoratz across him, and then because they had distanced themselves from him, and then he had to run to them. Mikora Osu Kamu Ale. In the beginning, they were right next to him. Ki Chazuhu, when the Malachim saw the Havu Le Tzaro, that he was in pain, so Amu Love or Ara Lamekam Hach. It's not comfortable, not nice for us to be right here next to him. So they distanced themselves. Practically more. Mani, who were these Malachim? Mani Shlosha Anashim, Michael, Gabriel, Rufoel. Michael Shabor Levaser, as Sari came to tell the news to Sarah that she was going to have a child in 1 year. Rufoel Shabor Lerafe, as Abraham came to Merafe Abraham. Some say he also was saved Lot. Gabriel Ozal Lemahafche L'Sodom. He went to destroy Sodom. That's three jobs that were being done by three different malachim. Bahak Siv says in the pasuk, how can you say? You're telling me that they were carrying out three different, right? That Michael was there to Mavasar for Sarah. Then why did two of them go to Sodom? It says V'yavo Shnei Hamalachim Sodoima V'Arab, right? So the Arab. To Ozel, and the Gemara answers, why did two go? To Ozel Michael Bahadek. He went together with Gabriel, Azve, in order to save Lilot, to pull him out, to save him pull him out of the house. Some say it was Refoil, because Refoil was a fool of Avram, is the same as saving somebody. So Dikanami, they want to be medayik that it wasn't both of them that destroyed Sodom. It was only Gabriel that destroyed Sodom. Dikanami the Chasiv, it says V'yahafoich in the singular. One destroyed Ha'arimael. Below Kasiv Yafchu doesn't say that they just turned Sodom over. Shmamina. We hear from that that it was only Gabriel that destroyed Sodom. So what was Michael doing? He was going, I guess, to save Lot. So, practically more Mashino Legabi Abraham, that the Chesiva says that when the Malachim were there, they were willing to do whatever Abraham said. If Abraham offered them to eat, they were willing to eat. It says, Kain Tase Kashir Dibarato. Yes, we'll do whatever. If you tell us, okay, we'll do what you say. Kain Tase Kashir Dibarato. But Mashino Legabi Lot, when Lot asked them to come to his house, so they refused. They were Masarev, they didn't want to come. Until finally they gave in and they went to his house. So what was the difference? Omer Rav Elazar Mekan Shemisarvin Lekoten Ve'ain Misarvin Legadol. So it could be two reasons here. One is maybe you're supposed to refuse for a cotton that asks you to eat by him, or to he wants to do some favor for a gadol. And for the gadol, you don't misarv. It could be two reasons. One is maybe the cotton feels obligated that he has to give to the gadol, and really maybe he doesn't have the means, or it's not really coming from his rotzon so much, and therefore he should refuse. Another pshat is pasnish for a gadol to sit by someone who's on a much lower madrega than to sit by a person like that. And we'll stop here.